What they hid in your hand. Look at the palm of your hand right now. Don't just look, observe. Ignore for a moment everything that modern science, school biology, and materialist skepticism have taught you about skin folds and muscle flexion. What if what you see there is not an evolutionary accident? What if these lines are the handwriting of an intelligence that precedes this world? A spiritual barcode that the Church desperately tried to erase from the collective consciousness. There is a reason why, for centuries, looking at one's own hand for answers was condemned as witchcraft, superstition, or heresy. They said it was to protect your soul from the devil. But what if it was to protect the false god from you? At the center of this prohibition is a specific glyph, the M symbol. Millions carry this mark without knowing that it is the royal seal of a lineage that does not belong to this earth. The title of this video is not a metaphor, it is a literal warning. The M Phi symbol on your palm is the Gnostic secret, the Archons' fear. They never wanted you to know how to decode this, because the moment you understand the sacred geometry engraved in your flesh, the prison begins to lose its bars. We live in a reality designed for forgetfulness. The ancient Gnostics, whose texts were burned and buried in jars in the Nag Hammadi desert so they wouldn't reach us, knew that the human body is, at the same time, a cell and the map of escape. They knew that the Archons, these invisible rulers, parasites of consciousness that feed on our confusion and fear, operate through the suppression of our true identity. They created a religious and social system where the answer is always out there, in the sky, in a distant savior, in an institution, in a government, on a phone screen, never, ever, in the palm of your own hand. But why this fear? Why the systematic suppression of sacred palmistry? Because the EMA is not just a letter. It is a diagram of the structure of reality and, more importantly, of the structure of your own soul. It is the forbidden revelation that humanity is not unique, but divided into 3 states of consciousness, 3 vibrational frequencies that define who sleeps and who awakens. They hid this because the M reveals who you really are. And if you are here, listening to this right now, feeling this strange resonance in your chest, it is because the mark on your hand is starting to pulse. The veil is tearing. Are you ready to read what was written on you before the beginning of time? The hierarchy of souls and the trap of matter. To understand the power that resides in your hand, we must first dismantle the lie of spiritual equality that modern dogma has sold us. In the secret texts of Nag Hammadi, such as the Tripartite Tractate, it is revealed that humanity is not a homogeneous mass. There are 3 types of humans, 3 levels of existence, and the M on your hand is the graphical representation of these 3 mountains. The first leg of the Emium, the first mountain you need to climb and understand, represents the hillic state. From the Greek hyle, meaning matter, the hillic man is one who is completely identified with the physical body and the material world. For the hillic, there is no spirit, there is no transcendent soul. There is only what can be touched, eaten, bought, and consumed. This is the base of the Archons' control pyramid. They love the Hylic state. They built our entire modern society to keep you trapped in this first leg of the MAC tree hue. Look around you. Rampant consumerism, the obsession with physical appearance, the ceaseless pursuit of sensory pleasures that never satisfy. All of this is social engineering designed to anchor your consciousness in dense matter. When you believe that you are your body, you fear death. And the fear of death is the favorite food of the Demiurge. the false creator god of this flawed world. The first line of the M on your hand is the lifeline, which contours the thumb, the anchor in the earth. The church and society say that this is the only reality. Live in the moment, they say, but what they mean is lose yourself in matter. But there is an even subtler trap. Today, the hillic trap has evolved. It is not just about food or gold, it is about digital materiality. Think about how we hold our phones. The device covers the palm of the hand. The black light of the digital mirror blocks the Wen Fem Si Po Yin Fon On Main Keen symbol. Social media is the modern version of Plato's cave, projecting shadows on the wall that confuse the hillic, making him believe that likes and views are life. They keep you in a dopamine cycle, a closed biological loop, so that you never look at the second line, the second leg of the Pyramid. Breathe deeply now. Release the air slowly. Feel the weight of your body in the chair. Realize that you have a body, but you are not it. This simple observation, this small detachment, is the first step out of the hillic frequency. You are the observer, not the meat. The labyrinth of the mind and the false god. If the first leg of the An Fiem Bari is the prison of the body, the second is the prison of the mind. Here we enter the domain of the psychic man. Do not confuse this with having paranormal powers. In Gnosticism, psyche refers to the rational soul, the mind, emotions, and intellect. The psychic man is one who seeks the truth, but seeks it within the rules of the system. It is the devout religious person who follows dogma without questioning. It is the intellectual who believes only in cold logic. It is the activist who gets lost in the polarity of us versus them. This is the second line of the MU, the headline. The Archons are master manipulators of the psychic level. The Demiurge, in his arrogance, proclaimed, "I am God, and there is no other besides me." He created laws, rigid morality, guilt, and the concept of sin to imprison the human mind in a labyrinth of right and wrong. The psychic man lives in a constant internal battle, oscillating between good and evil, without realizing that both are sides of the same coin minted by the jailers. The Church suppressed the secret of the M because it shows that the rational mind, the second stem, is not the peak of evolution. They want you to stop there. They want you to be a good citizen, a faithful follower. They use guilt as a chain. You are a sinner. You are flawed. You need external salvation. This keeps the psychic vibration low, dense, full of shame. The Gnostic secret they fear is that good and evil defined by the system are just bars of the same cell. Today, this psychic trap manifests in the war of narratives, political polarization, cancel culture, chronic anxiety about the future. All of this is designed to keep your mind, the second leg of the M, in a state of frenzy and exhaustion. They occupy your mental space with noise so that you cannot hear the silence. They give you ready-made ideologies so that you do not need to access direct gnosis. Here is the micro-practice to break this grate. Close your eyes for a second. Observe your next thought. Where did it come from? Is it yours? Or is it a repetition of something you heard on the news, in church, in school? Most of your thoughts are implants. Recognize this. Say to your mind, "Thank you for your logic, but I am not just my mind." By doing this, you begin to climb the slope toward the peak of the third mountain. The third stem, the divine spark and the rebellion. We now arrive at the final secret, the part of the Mquam. Symbol on your palm is the Gnostic secret, the Archons. Fear that is truly dangerous to the status quo. The third leg of the M, the one that closes the glyph, that connects the heart line and rises toward the fingers. This is the representation of the pneumatic man. From the Greek pneuma, meaning spirit or breath, the pneumatic is one who has awakened the divine spark. The texts of Nag Hammadi tell us that Sophia, wisdom, when falling from the Pleroma, the divine fullness, into this realm of chaos, hid a drop of her own light within humanity, without the Demiurge knowing. This drop is the pneuma. It is the indestructible, uncreated, eternal spirit. It is the part of you that was not made by the God of this world. It is the part of you that is literally alien to this reality. The M symbol on your palm is not just a drawing. It is the prophecy of fusion. It shows the convergence. Matter, body, and mind, soul, must surrender and be transmuted by the Spirit. When you have the Denbien Phi Di Thi Partithider Dananinti and Bandaber birth. Erbi Durhan clearly marked, this is a sign of lineage. It means you carry the pneumatic potential. It means you have the capacity for gnosis, direct knowledge, not learned in books, but remembered by the heart. The Demiurge and his Archons fear the pneumatic above all else. Why? Because the pneumatic cannot be controlled. Fear does not work on him, because he knows he is immortal. Guilt does not work on him, because he knows that sin is an invention of the system. Materialism does not seduce him, because he feels the nostalgia of the stars, the longing for the Pleroma. Having the MR on your hand is having the passport back home tattooed on your skin. They tried to say that these lines were random. They tried to say you were small. But the Adam is proof that the Sacred Trinity is within. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. No, matter, mind, awakened spirit. This is the true Gnostic Trinity. When the divine spark ignites the flesh, the M activates energetically. It ceases to be a biological scar and becomes a conductive circuit. We live in times where technology tries to merge man and machine, transhumanism, which is the satanic inversion of the pneumatic process. They want to trap you in matter forever, digitizing your consciousness. But the soul technology inscribed on your hand is organic, divine, and sovereign. The third line of the M is your antenna. It picks up signals from the Pleroma that the logical mind cannot decode. It is that sudden intuition, that inexplicable certainty, that feeling of, I do not belong in this place. Stop now. Look at the third stem of your M. Touch it. Feel the texture of your skin. You are not just touching your hand. You are touching the exit door. The church erased this. School ignored this. The media distracts you from this. But it is there. Open, visible, screaming in silence. The perfect man of the Apocrypha is not a Messiah who will come in the clouds. It is the pneumatic who awakens inside the human shell. It is you, the soul technology, the M, activation ritual. Now that you understand the theory, we must move to practice. Gnosis is not just intellectual, it must be experiential. If the M is a dormant circuit, how do we switch on the current? How do we use this Gnostic secret to repel the influence of the Archons and claim our sovereignty? We do not need temples, priests, or gurus. The tool is literally in your hands. I present to you the Trinity the Protocol of the Inverted Trinity. This is a spiritual biofeedback method to align your three natures under the command of the Spirit. Follow these steps with the urgency of someone about to escape a maximum security prison. Step 1. The recognition of matter, silencing the hillic. Sit comfortably and open your left hand, or right, if you are left-handed. The dominant hand is the one that projects. Look at the first leg of the M, the lifeline that curves around the thumb. Place the index finger of your other hand over the beginning of this line. Say aloud or mentally, I inhabit this body, but I am not its cravings. I command matter. Matter does not command me. Feel the energy of desire, hunger, laziness, and physical attachment draining from this line and being neutralized. You are informing your biological avatar who the master is. Step 2. The purification of the mind, cleansing the psychic. Move your finger to the center of the palm, where the headline crosses or forms the valley of the An-Ma. This is the mental battle zone. Press this point firmly. This is the connection point where Archons insert doubts and fears. While pressing, visualize a cold white light, like the light of a distant star, clearing the emotional mud. Declare, I break all contracts made by fear. I revoke permission for guilt. My mind is a reflection of divine wisdom, not the chaos of the world. Breathe deeply. Feel the anxiety dissolve. You are cutting the power cable of the mental parasites. Step 3. The ignition of the Pneuma, the seal of sovereignty. Now, trace the third line, the line that rises toward the fingers or crosses the heart, completing the MU. This is the crucial moment. Do not do this mechanically. Do it with reverence. As your finger travels this final line, visualize it glowing in pure gold. Feel a heat rising up your spine, the awakening of the Kundalini or the sacred fire. Say with absolute authority, I am the eternal spark. I remember who I am. I activate my inheritance from the Pleroma here and now. Upon completing the tracing of the M, close your hand into a strong fist. Feel that you have just grabbed your divinity. You have sealed the circuit. Keep your fist closed for a few seconds, feeling the pulsation in the palm of your hand. This pulsation is the rhythm of the real universe, not the fake simulation out there. Every time you feel drained, confused, or attacked by life's circumstances, look at your hand, trace the M, and make a fist. It is your cosmic reset button. It is your weapon against the illusion. The final choice: to forget or to remember. The journey from paranoia to sovereignty is not easy. Discovering that the world was designed to keep us asleep is frightening, but discovering that the key to the cell was in the palm of our hand the whole time is liberating. The M-Dur symbol on your palm is the Gnostic secret. The Archon's fear, because it democratizes the divine. It takes power away from institutions and puts it back where it always should have been, in your own sacred biology. They tried to erase this truth. They burned libraries, persecuted mystics, and created a world of infinite noise to ensure you never look down at your own hands with eyes to see. But they failed, because the ink that wrote the M on your skin is indelible. It is Sophia's signature. It is the mark that you are not from here, and because of that, they cannot keep you here forever. But the mark alone does not save. It needs to be read. It needs to be recognized. The choice is now yours. Will you look at your hand tomorrow and see only skin, returning to the Hylic sleep? Or will you see the star map that guides the rebel back home? The rebellion does not begin in the streets. It begins in consciousness. It begins when you realize you are a spiritual giant living in a box too small for your soul. I want you to be part of this wave of remembrance, Do not let this video be just another piece of content you consume and forget. Let's hack their algorithm with our truth. Go to the comments right now and write, "I remember." Declare this to the universe, to the Archons, and most importantly, to yourself. Let this be your first act of sovereignty today. I remember. And if this message resonated on the frequency of your spirit, if you felt the shiver of truth that has been suppressed for millennia, leave your like and subscribe. Not for vanity, but to signal to the collective consciousness that we are awakening, one by one. Share this with someone who needs to know they have the map in their hand. The veil has fallen. The symbol is activated. The prison is an illusion for those who dare to read their own soul. You are free. Remember,